It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 17. It says, there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. All right, before I get started on this lesson, I'd like to give all praises, glory, infinite honors unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who taught me this truth and rule well, and peace and blessings, salutations be to the hopefully elect, as well as those that believe in the gospel, and may you endure to the end, Lord willing. All right, and I just want to get into a quick lesson on how these jakes are missile food. All right, these people are wood for the fire, man. All right, as it says in I believe Jeremiah the 5th chapter. All right, and what you had going on down here in New Orleans this week was a so-called red dress run. All right, we have a bunch of you can't even say what you want to say on YouTube, but you had a bunch of Bati boys, all right, a bunch of peanut butter chasers, man, like the elder like to say, all right, a bunch of sodomites, man, so-called quote-unquote straight men, all right, dressing up with dresses on, man, you see, and it's way more than what you see here. All right, I'm gonna just say it like that. And I really only put this in here because that one of these guys actually married. All right, and as she asked him, why are you in New Orleans? All right, he responded. He said, me and the homies went to this event. My bad, I should have told you. Finna send you these pictures. Oh, okay. So, she just actually just thinking, him and his partners went somewhere and hung out, right? She ain't no big deal, but this is the reaction, right? She said, boy, what the hell? What type of gay, whatever. What type of gay shit you niggas got going on? Hell nah. Don't even bring your sweet ass back to this house. And she right, man. All right, you have you have on one side, right? You have the so-called N-Dub actually right about something for once, man. All right, because Jake is especially you Israelite men, man. All right, you just want to be a woman, man. All right, any man that dresses up, all right, and wants to go and put on a dress and parade themselves around other men with dresses on. Hey, man, you deserve a missile. You see? A missile needs to rain down on your head immediately, And we had a elder brother was down here from Arkansas, right? And he wanted to, actually go to a little jazz bar, right? A little solid little spot. But, if we would have wound up going somewhere like that, we would have seen nothing but this, man. All right? And this is why Lot was just delivered, okay? Just him, all right? Because he was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, man, all right? 2 Peter, get in, because I want to see what that word conversation says. 2 Peter 2:7, right? It says, I'll start up, right? Verse 5, it says, 2 Peter 2:5, and spare not the old world, but save Noah the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly, right? So this is the first death, as we know. You see, because back then people were still into the same wickedness, man. All right, it was so wicked back then that the Lord said it grieved his heart that he created man. You see, he repented of himself, man. All right. And if that was wicked back then, all right, if the people was wicked back then, well, how wicked do you think that they are now, seeing that the evils and everything has been multiplied upon the earth, all right? But it says, verse 6, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that after should live ungodly. All right, now let's see what this word ensample means, right? I'm just looking it up. I never really checked it out. It says A sign suggestive of anything. You see? A delineation of a thing, a representation. All right? An example for imitation of the thing to be imitated. And it's the point, it says, for a warning of a thing to be shunned. So he shewed Sodom and Gomorrah. All right? He rained a fire and brimstone on Sodom and Gomorrah. For what? For a sign. For an example. Okay? That this is what you don't do, man. All right? This is what you don't do. All right? And you know, I'm going to get it in a minute, all right, to show you the type of time, all right, these guys, these wicked heathen, all right, the type of time they were on during the time of Lot, right? And I'll read verse 7. It says, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. All right, let me see if this word is anastrophe. All right, I never looked this up. Yes, anastrophe. All right, which says manner of life, conduct, or behavior, right? So Lot was vexed with the filthy behavior of the wicked, man. All right, just like we are, you know. And that's why I said, you know, talking to the brother Saturday, you know, I was telling the brothers, man, you know, imagine if we was downtown, you know, at the old camp spot, you know, in which we used to do this every year, man. All right, go out there on the street corner, seeing nothing but you goddamn niggas, all right, in a goddamn dress, man. You know? And you know they got the hot flaming FAGGs, man. You know? The ones that don't have no shame in their game. And it was vexing to see this type of behavior. To see the type of way that we were supposed to be princes of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, all right? And to see the type of way you niggas act, man. It's vexing, man. You know? You don't see nobody else, no other nation out there more than you Jakes, man. All right. And like I said, it's so-called straight men. All right. So-called men with wives, man. All right. You got to be out your rabbit ass mind, man. But yeah, I'll read it in the NLT. All right. Now it says, but the Most High rescued Lot out of Sodom, because he was a righteous man who was sick of the shameful immorality of the wicked people around them. And we are sick of the shameful immorality of the people around us, man. They have no morals, man. All right? I say, what type of man goes and put on a goddamn dress, man? All right? And, you know, just being from here, right, living here, you naturally going to see things on social media, all right? This, that, and the third. And when you actually scroll past these things, you see Jake out there with a wedding dress on, man. A red wedding dress, man. It's ridiculous, man. And that's why the Lord ultimately has to destroy this place. Like the elder brother say, you know, this place got to be one of these 7. It might be Sodom itself. All right, I take that back. All right, and Atlanta might be the city of Sodom itself, man. All right. In down here in New Orleans, it might be the city of Gomorrah, man. All right? One of those 7 cities, man, where it's just nothing but lewd and filthy behavior going on, you know? But that's why the Lord said that this is going to be an example, all right, unto those unto those that shall live ungodly, man. All right? This is the example. But you go ask Jake, name three chapters or three books in the Bible they don't even know. You see? Because they're Sodom's children, man. You know? But let me get this account in the book of Genesis. All right? I think I want to start at, I think I had 18 and 24. Let me double check. Yep. Get the meat. Get all the meat out of here, man. All right. This book of Genesis chapter 18 verse 24. It says, peradventure there be 50 righteous, which, you know, Abraham was, you know, basically having a dialogue with the Most High. All right. If there be any righteous men in the city, will he save them? Right. So, you know, he was kind of bugging out, you know. went from 50 to 40 to 10 to 20, because he knew Lot was there, right? Let's get the point. I don't know why I had it at 24. Let's get 19. Right, it was something, I think it's 23 what it said, that he heard the cry. It was very great. That's what I wanted to get. So like it, bear with me 1 second. Oh, it's 20, right? It says, and the Lord Yahweh said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which is come unto me, and if not, I will know, right? So, and this is what you see in verse 19, all right? The two angels, all right, entering into the city, all right? Because the Lord had them go there to see whether it was so, right? Salakia. All right, so verse 1, it says, and there came two angels to Sodom at the eve, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. All right. Now it says, and he said, behold, now my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house. All right. And tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early, and go on your ways. And they said, nay, but we will abide in the street all night. All right. So they said, nah, we ain't come here to just chill. We came here to give a report to the Lord. The Lord said he wanted to see what that cry was about, right? What was this grievous thing that they was doing, right? And Lot knew, you see? It says, and he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered into his house, and he made them a feast. And they did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. All right, so when you read in the NLT, it says, but Lot insisted, so at last they went home with him. So he begged them, he pleaded with them to not go in the city, man. All right, because Lot knew what was going on. He was already vexed with the behavior there, as it said in 2 Peter, right? Now it says, Lot prepared a feast for them, complete with fresh bread made without yeast, and he ate. But before, this verse 4, it says, but before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young, and all people from every quarter. So you had these goddamn Sodomites, all right, basically surround the house, man. And check it out, man. All right, it says, and he called unto Lot and said to him, where are the men which came in to thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. You read it in the NLT, it says, bring them out so we can have sex with them. You see? And this type of lewd activities, the type of lewd behavior that was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah. All right? This is the example. This is the things that they were doing. Men wanting to be women. All right? Women wanting to be men. You see? Cutting off their rods, man. I believe that's in Deuteronomy 23:1. You cutting off your rod, and you can't enter into the congregation of the Lord, man. You're privy member, But that's the type of mindset that, Jake is in the world, man. All right? Wanting to wear a goddamn dress and say, oh, it's for a charity event. Hey, man, you couldn't pay me to put on a goddamn dress, man. All right? You can open a briefcase with $100 million, and I ain't putting on no goddamn dress, man. But that's what Jake could do. Jake just don't have no morals, man. All right? Now it says, and Lot, verse 6, and Lot went out at the door unto them and shut the door after him and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. All right? He says, behold, now I have 2 daughters, which have not known a man. So I got 2 virgin daughters, man. All right? And don't forget the angels is there. to give the report straight back to the Lord, right? I have 2 daughters which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto thee. You see? So he had 2 daughters, man. 2 virgin daughters. You know, any man in their right mind would say, oh, yeah, shit. You know, give me I'll take one of your daughters. You know? But this to show you how filthy, all right, how filthy they were, man. Right? It says, what was that? And do ye to them as is good in your eyes, right? Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof, right? So he dialogue, you know, he went outside the door, shut it behind him, like, look, I got 2 daughters, you know, you can have them, but with these men, you cannot do anything with them. Like, you're not getting these men. These are the angels, man, right? These are the angels. Now it says, and they said, stand back, you see? So this is why, all right, these niggas had to be destroyed, man, right? It says, and they said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will needs a judge. Now we will deal worse with thee than with them. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. So they wanted to have sex with the angels, all right, with these men so bad that they was trying to break the door in, man. You see? But the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house and shut to the door. You see? Right, which was the angels, you know. It says, and they shut the door and they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. And the men said unto Lot, hast thou had here any besides son-in-law and thy sons and thy daughters? And whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place, for we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of Yahweh, and Yahweh has sent us to destroy it. You see? And that was the cry. That was the inquisition that the angels, all right, the Lord sent men to go and see what it was about. Well, they got a first-hand look at what it was about, man. All right? And we see and we know what happened, right? The place was turned into, they had sulfur balls, all right, in which, you know, the artifacts are still there until this day. They're literally rained down from the heavens, man, all right, and the place was totally destroyed. You see? And this was the example, man, all right? And so all those that should live ungodly after wickedness, all right, after sodomy, okay, this was the example, man. You see? You want to be a bati boy, all right? You like to get pushed in your back, man? Well, there's a judgment for that, man. You see? And the Lord ain't playing, man. All right? A lot of you gonna be the first to go when all hell break loose in Jacob's trouble, man. You know? But I believe that was it. You know, I was gonna get this account with Edris, but you know, it's all good because, you know, he saw the things that the different men, all right, of Israel were into, all right, the idol worship, the mixing the seed, all right, the wickedness that they were creating, and you know, he rent his head, man. All right, he pulled his hair out, his hair out, all right, he pulled his beard, you know, destroyed his clothes because he saw the condition that our people was in, right? And he saw this right here. You see? He saw this right here, man. And he rent himself. All right? But I'm gonna end it off in Revelation 11. All right? Because this is that great city. All right? Revelation 11 and 8. It says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. All right, and these majority of you jakes, all right, here in America are dead bodies, man. All right, As it says in Proverbs 21, that he that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Well, majority, you know, 2/3 is a majority, all right? So you're going to remain in the congregation of the dead. You are literally the walking dead, man, all right? And this great city, all right, which is America, is spiritually called Sodom, you see? Well, events and things like this, and like I said, it's more, but I'm not even going to show it, man, you know? If you really want to go see it, go look it up on your own time, right? I don't want to see that shit, you know? This is the type of behaviors that we are vexed with, you know? Saying that we're supposed to be a nation of kings and priests, man. You see? But that's pretty much it. You know, it says, well, also our Lord was crucified, you know, which they ultimately took and X'd out the images of the Lord, all right? Painted them with the likeness of the heathen, all right? And not who Yahushua truly is, you know? But that was the point, all right? So with that, man, I'm going to give all praises, glory, infinite honors unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakodash. Dabanos once again to your apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings, salutations to the hopefully elect. Till next time, I say shalom.